Привет, друзья! Hello, my friends. I just wanted to make a video today of what I've done so far. Вчера у меня есть работать, много работать, потому что у меня есть юридические компании в Америке, и они работают другое время. Да, конечно, мне нужно работать другое время, поэтому мало спать. Но сегодня утром у меня есть урок. А, а, я встаю 7 часов. So, my friends, I got up early today because I have a Russian uh, language class, and due to the time variance from America and here in Moscow, 5 o'clock in the US is midnight here. And so I worked till like 1 in the morning. I mean, it wasn't like really hard work, but communicating with my attorneys and my staff, going over some computer issues and problems, normal stuff. I'm not gonna lie, they do pretty much the work. I just kind of help resolve problems and give guidance. Um, Make no mistake, they do most of the work. So, we finished working like at 1, and you can't just shut it off and go to bed. So by the time I was asleep, it was 2, and I had to get up at 7. So I'm tired. It's now a little after 10. But I just wanted to show you a little bit So I came out here just to grab something, but this is the entrance into my apartment. It's actually a communal area. That's why it's a ugly green. But I'm the only apartment in this hallway, so I paid about $1,000 and enclosed it. Now, you can't do this everywhere, but almost everybody in this building in this end has it. And the management company said I could do it. Someone complains, we'll deal with it, but I don't think anyone's going to complain. And by the way, all the floors in the hallway are heated, which is a blessing and a curse. It's hot. So quite often I just leave this door open. I also have some heated flooring. You can kind of see behind me. That's heated, and it goes to hardwood, but my thermostat's not working because my construction guy bought the cheapest thermostat possible, and it doesn't work. So I'm just coming in the bathroom real quick to shut the light off. Oh, different light here. So as I said, I got up and came into my office this morning, and here's a little view of my setup. So of course I have TV going now because my lesson's over, but I have my computer, which my big laptop died. It's up there on top. The power source is bad, so I had to buy a new computer here. Didn't have time really to bring it from the US because I need it. It's a big screen. I usually do dual monitors, but with my desk setup, I just don't have room. I barely have room for this monitor, and it's only a 24-inch. I like two 34-inch curves, but I can't do it. So that. See my view this morning. I don't know if you can check that out, but there's a train out there right now. I live close to the train station, which is good and it's bad. The good, of course, is I can walk to the train station. It's literally 4-minute walk there. You can see the train, and I can open the window and you can hear it. It's pretty good windows. You can hear it in the distance. But of course, if you shut the door or window, Zakrita, no, shut the window and you can't hear it at all. So it's pretty good. Now in the summer when it's warm and you want to have some windows open, it does get a little noisy for sure. And I've shown this many times, but since I'm standing here, I guess I can go ahead and show it. I have a very huge, useless balcony. I know a lot of Russian families love to have big balconies for storage, but I just don't have a lot to store because I also, have a house with a garage in Lipetsk, and I haven't lived here my whole life, so I haven't accumulated a lot of things like most people. Of course, if you go to my house in America, it's like insanely big. In fact, I just built a new pole barn to cover it all. But you can see the gorgeous fall colors. You know, the colors may say it's fall here, but the weather says it's winter. It's about freezing. Not quite had that first harsh frost yet, but we're getting close. In fact, everyone's telling me I need to change the tires on my car, which is the white car right there. I need to put my tires with the metal on them. But my tires are in Lipetsk, so I'm gonna have to take a trip there just to do that. So right now, I'm gonna make some coffee. I won't share that with you, but I'll at least get it ready. You can see my little refrigerator. And I do like this concept how they hide it between the cabinets or behind the cabinets. And it's really an easy concept. They just put it on this little swivel thing and there you go. There's my refrigerator. And the freezer's in the bottom. Of course, it's just a hair bigger than a dormitory refrigerator, so it's pretty small. But for me, it's fine. And most of the food here doesn't last that long. It doesn't have all the preservatives. At least the stuff I buy doesn't have a lot of the preservatives. So it really doesn't last that long. So 2 or 3 days and your food's bad. So you don't keep it in your fridge that long anyways. You rotate it out pretty quick, which is good. And so I got my milk. I'm just going to get everything ready while I'm talking to you. Show you my nice little coffee machine. Of course, I got the my little tea just to get hot water. Just makes it easier. I can have tea whenever I want. I don't have to boil the kettle. Most people don't like that, but I love that. And just come in here, grab it, and of course my coffee machine. It's not my favorite coffee machine. It's my mug my friend Shocky bought me. Has my name on it's in Arabic. And then of course my favorite mug right now. Yes, and yeah. Don't read into that too much. It's just more of a nostalgia thing. But also got my little statue. Dedushka Lenina. And I have a little bit of something to remind me of home. I don't know who got me the gift, but this cutting board, the shape of my state, Indiana, in America. I like that. It's pretty cool. And you're not going to believe this when I say that I actually drink much less alcohol in Russia than I do in the U.S. Probably because I just don't do as many family events and stuff here. So it's usually me or small groups, and you would not believe it, but the young people here don't, especially the educated, and they don't really drink as much as the reputation that they have. Of course, on weekends and family events, stuff people drink, but it's not like you think. So here, I really don't drink. If I want to drink alone, I can, but if I'm not going to drink alone, there's really not a lot of opportunity, and some of my close friends here don't drink at all. So that's good and bad. So there are some days, though, I will have some liqueur in my coffee. Usually when I'm bored with the flavor, kind of getting boring, I'll do it. Same with tea. I have different teas. Most of it's just nothing special, cheap Russian tea. But if you really want some good tea, they import a lot of tea from India, which is really good. So I have that. And of course, I'm going to make it with my DeLonghi Authentica. So authentic, but it's not. I mean, it's a $500 machine, so I'm not going to talk bad about it. It works here, but it's not what I want. I want a very much different espresso machine. This is an automatic. I want a semi-automatic or not automatic at all, but for now, for this apartment, it's fine. We'll see. But in another video, I went and I was looking for some Bosch products, and one of them is a coffee machine that's like built into the wall. That's more for my wife. She doesn't know how to use these machines. If this machine she can use, if it's a push button, that's fine. But if she has to turn one single dial, she's just not going to. So I got that for her, or I'm trying to buy that for her. But for me, I want some really nice ones, but we'll see. I have some designs and desires to do something special in Lipetsk and I may concentrate on that instead of some other things at the house. Sorry, I just wanted to turn on the light so I can get ready to make my coffee. It doesn't look like much, but that light actually helps quite a bit. When we designed this apartment, we did some modern things. So you can see the lighting here. That's one light. And then behind me is that soft yellow light. But then we also did this lighting. And that goes through the whole apartment. And then the ones that you don't see that's over there is some more lighting. That is for this lighting, I believe. Actually, that turns out. Very sad. I don't know what lighting that's for. There's one more switch over here. There we go. And that switch also is on that sensor. There's a sensor over there that turns on and off the light at the feet, which I really like. It just comes on as soon as I walk in the apartment, which is very nice. Just come in. You don't have to reach for a light or anything, and it just comes on. And then here, without showing you my bed, I have this light. Of course, it's a normal light, but then of course I have that light, which I really like a lot. A view outside, another balcony. I use the balcony more than the others. I do have to do some laundry later, but not right now. It's coffee time. I want some coffee. All right, I'm not very good at the video production, so I don't have a lot of special introduction or any music or anything crazy like that. But so far, this is my day, and it's now almost 10:30. So I'm gonna make my coffee and figure out what the plan is. I have to work again. I just don't know how much. There are some small things I have to do and review, and some financial transactions I have to make. I'll work stuff, and then I can see what I need to do. And I was going to meet a friend for lunch, but I don't know what their plans are. But if not, that's fine. I will stay here. I have Russian homework to do. I have another lesson tomorrow at 8 a.m. I try to do 2 hours a day whenever the teacher and I can schedule it. And then my homework is usually another 2 hours. So that'll be 4 hours today just practicing Russian. And then I try to watch at least one movie or sitcom in Russian. If I'm lazy, I'll find one with American subtitles, or I'll try to watch one as long as it's not a classic one, because those words are hard. Sitcoms are pretty good, although the sitcoms, they talk very fast. The dramas are sometimes really good to watch because there's not as much dialogue, and you can often figure out what the dialogue's, at least the topic, is about. And there's a lot of melodramas in Russian television. I don't know, it's most of them, I guess, because the women watch it. But the melodramas I will try to watch in Russian with Russian subtitles, not English subtitles, so that way I can practice. And sometimes it makes matters worse, but if there's a word I don't know what they said, or I'm lost in what they're talking about, I can look at the words and figure it out. And then the more I know the situation, then I start to understand the words. It does make it better. And I know my Russian's improving. So yesterday I was coming up from the store, and I was a father and a son in the elevator, and I understood completely what the dad said. It was comical. Different situation when you live in a high rise. We're on the 14th floor, and they live on the 16th because they hit the 16th button. The dad had his little backpack in his hands, and he looked at his son and was like, use rucksack. And the son said, no, I don't have my backpack. And the father said, you could say he wasn't happy. The good news is they have a car, so he didn't forget it, like on the bus or the train or something. And he said, let's go back to the car and get it. And I was like, hey, I understood what they're saying. I mean, I could figure out that he forgot something just by their reactions, but I actually understood the words. I was like, hey, that's progress. And I've always said this, and you're in a foreign land, and you're like, oh my goodness, they're speaking so beautifully. They must be talking about something so elegant and such importance. Yeah, they're not. They're talking about the same stupid stuff we talk about. It's just in a different language. Hey, you forgot your book bag. Where's your book bag? Let's go back and get it. I mean, there was nothing eloquent about their topic, and the more I understand Russian, the more I realize that's actually true. Most people in the world, it's the same everywhere. They talk about the same stuff, what they have to do, uh, what other people said, because I hear some of those words all the time. What they have to do, work, it's all the same, which is interesting. I think the more I start to understand, well, the more relaxed I am because I know what they're talking about, but it's just different. It's different. Now I just want to be part of those conversations. So I'm getting there. Practice, practice. Um, we'll see. But it's at least my high rise, I can see all the fall colors. It's too cold right now to be out there. And it's another topic that I have my complaint about, not Russia, but it's just the lifestyle thing in the U.S. Moscow and U.S. The winter is very similar. It's gray. It starts in October and it stays this way till March. In March, it's just like in U.S. Spring comes. It usually comes out, pretty harsh, or comes pretty harsh, and everyone celebrates when it's 40 degrees. Uh, the difference is just your method of transportation in the U.S. And I've explained it to some of my Russian friends, uh, and some of them understand it. For example, not too many people in Indiana wear scarves, right? It's like, why would I wear a scarf? I don't need a scarf. You will if you're going to go to some, I don't know, someplace in a park or some event downtown or something. You're going to have hat, gloves, scarf, but you're really going to make a conscious effort. And we all know what you're going to be looking for your scarf. You're going to be looking for your hat. You're going to be looking for all this stuff because it's not a normal everyday thing. Maybe for kids it is, but for adults, we grab our light coat, jump in our car, go wherever we're going, and hurry up and go to wherever it is. We're going to go to the store, or we're going to very quickly walk to the store with our coat, maybe buttoned up, maybe not, no scarf, maybe a hat, maybe not. We're going to wear gloves if it's freezing, and maybe. But here in Russia, at least in Moscow, if you're going to take the metro or a bus or the electrichka, the train, the commuter trains, you're outside for a bit. Most of the trips for me, I'm a little outside of the city. It's an hour to get anywhere. Like if I want to go, one of my videos, I want to go buy a book at a bookstore. Well, the really big bookstores with the lots of unique books. It's almost in the center of Moscow. It's an hour and 15 minutes door to door. Uh, and you may say, holy smokes, why would you want to be somewhere where it takes you an hour and 15 minutes to get there? Well, Indianapolis is 35, 45 minutes to get anywhere, right? In the car. And you get in the car, you drive, you get there, you park. It's definitely further here. It's different, but the difference is I'm not walking 10 feet to my car. It's 5 minutes to get to the train station, give or take. Um, if I want to stop and grab water or something, it's a little bit more. When you're waiting for the train, it's 1 to 5 minutes. So you get off the train, and then it's a depends on how fast you walk, 5 to 10 minute walk from the train to the metro. It's at the same place. It just takes that long to get there. And then when you're on the metro, of course, it's really warm. Then when you get off the metro, depending on where you're going, you're going to walk. So it's another 5 to 10 minutes in the cold. And it gets cold in 5 to 10 minutes, and it's 10 degrees outside. You get cold quick. You can't just run to your car. You're cold. So my problem, being the thin guy that I am, uh, I wear normal clothes like everybody else. You put your scarf on, you put your hat on. You definitely don't want your ears exposed too long. Gloves aren't that important because you can just throw them in your pockets and stuff, but I usually have the cheap gloves with me. Right now it's not that cold, but it's cold enough now that you need a hat. Even when I had my jacket on, I still had my hat. So, and I'm walking, and I'm like so hot from being overweight and walking. By the time I get in the train, I'm sweating. I'm hot. So I take my coat off, and it's usually on the train. The to the metro is a 15-minute train ride. If I want to go all the way to the city center and take the fast train, it's a 22-minute ride to the center on the fast train. So I take my coat off, and by the time I get to the station, I'm cold. Inside the train, I'm cold because they don't make it crazy warm because everyone's got their coats on. So then I put my coat on, and then I'm cold as soon as we walk outside. And then by the time I get to the metro, I'm blistering hot. And the metro for me is usually hot. I'm usually hot on the metro just because I don't think they have as much air circulation. But that's just my woes. When we lived in Yalta, we had an apartment in Yalta. Oh, that was misery. Yalta's a little warmer. The temperature there is almost like Indiana, and most of the winter is 40 degrees, 35 to 40 most of the winter. So you still need a light jacket, hat maybe, and in Yalta everything is uphill. I don't know how, but magically everywhere you go it's uphill, every direction. Stairs. When I say stairs, I mean about I don't know, 50, 60 stairs everywhere you go. The whole city's on the side of a mountain. I'm not joking you. And for there, it's a really you can walk from one side of the city to the next in an hour. It's not worth driving, and there's not very many roads there anyways, and they're usually backed up. They have buses and things, but you honestly can almost go anywhere in Yalta by foot. Uh, Not as fast as a car, but not a substantial noticeable difference when you're within the city and close to the beach. So I often carried. I know this is gonna sound funny and you're gonna laugh. I would carry an extra T-shirt with me because sometimes we would get to our destination and my shirt was just covered in sweat, and so I would literally change shirts. I know that's horrible, but problems of being fat. But anyways, so that's my morning. Uh, and I'm gonna make my coffee and get on with my day. And just so you can kind of see my little snack counter, got some bread I bought from some of the Muslim guys. By the way, there's my area is a little cheaper. Some people would say poor. It's a little cheaper than in the center of Moscow, so we have a lot more ethnic people live here. I would say, uh, which is good for me because you get different cuisine. We've got Uzbek restaurant not too far. There's some other um, types of Muslims. I don't know if they're Chetnian types. I'm not sure. Just Eastern Muslims. I don't mean any disrespect when I say it, but they're the type with the beards without the mustache, like the Habibs. Um, and there's a lot of those little places around everywhere, little sandwiches and F soups. And here in my area, there's two of them really close, and one's on the way back from the train station. So I love the bread. I always buy the bread when I come back. It's probably the main thing I buy there. And the last couple times I went by there to try and get a shawarma, which is just a wrap sandwich. Uh, and the line's been out the door, so I just keep walking. It's probably better since I don't want to get bigger and hotter when I walk. But I do like the fact that there's different nationalities here, and it's a lot of being in Moscow that a lot of Americans would probably be very surprised to find out how many nationalities are actually here. And my guess is the sheer number of Muslims might surprise a lot of Americans when you come here. Um, I'm not. It's not good or bad. I'm just saying it's different, which makes the food different. And it's usually the cheaper food. In my experience, uh, the street food. I would say most of the street food here is of uh, Arab. I would say culture. I know some of you might say I'm totally wrong, and they're not Arabs, and I understand they're not Arab Muslims. The food is more Middle Eastern food, if I could say. But my favorite is Uzbek food. I love Uzbek food. It's not my favorite food, but it's my favorite that type of food. My favorite food is Georgian food. But when I talk to a lot of Russians and I start describing what food I like, they're like, "That's not Georgian food." So it's kind of mixed. And maybe some of you can make some comments. Like for example, I love hachapuri. It's awesome. I love hachapuri with the bread, chleb i itso, which is basically, guys, it's It's good. I went with a couple of friends to Sochi, American friends, met them in Sochi for the F1 race, and they loved hachapuri. It just basically bread with cheese inside the dough, and in the middle, it's hot, they pull it right out of the oven. And my understanding, it's usually made on the side of a brick oven. It's a special oven, and you can make it in a normal oven. And as soon as it comes out, you break an egg, a raw egg, and just break the egg on the top of the bread and bring it out and serve it. And you just break off the bread and dip it into the egg, and the egg gets cooked while it sits on your table. And there's other types of hachapuri. Hachapuri, I think, just a generic term for that. There's other stuff with vegetables and stuff like that. My friend Shoki loves hachapuri, and good hachapuri is really good. It's not very good for you, of course. It's just huge amounts of calories and cheese, but it's nothing like a pizza. But for me, you have the satisfaction of like eating a very cheesy pizza. It's very good. And I am so happy that I can't make it at home because I would probably have it all the time. But I can buy the bread. And this bread is similar, but not quite. I think it might be made in a similar oven, but it's not. It doesn't taste the same. Just normal bread. All right, that's it. I think, blabbered long enough, and I will get on with my day.